Now at 10, Ace Hardware in Parsons welcomes local kids to get creative with a February Kids Hour. Plus, the Main Street Axe Company in Joplin introduces a brand new league for knife throwers. And the Pittsburgh Public Library hosts a day full of board games for area kids.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
An emotional gathering in Kansas City, Missouri yesterday as dozens of people joined together for a rally against guns. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Elise Snowy. Some in the crowd held up signs to ban assault weapons. The protest happened just days after gunfire erupted at a celebration honoring the Super Bowl champion Chiefs. 43-year-old mother and disc jockey Lisa Lopez Galvin died. At least 23 other people were hurt during the shooting. During the rally, Kansas City Mayor Quinton Lucas called for change and told demonstrators, quote, "It doesn't have to be this way."
I'm just a guy who wants to make sure that I can drop my kid off at daycare without the fear of him being shot.
Right.
That we can play in a park without the fear of him being shot.
Right.
That we can go to a parade without the fear of him being shot.
Police have charged 2 juveniles in connection with the shooting and say there could be more arrests. Well, this afternoon, a fire alarm caused the Olive Garden in Joplin to evacuate. Joplin Fire say the fire began outside in the landscaping mulch, then traveled inside. The fire was quickly put out, but the restaurant was closed for a few hours for inspection by the health department and to patch the wall outside of the building. The Olive Garden reopened business as usual by dinner time. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us for a first look at weather.
So today was a warmer day. Right now, cooling off a bit, getting down to our low for the night, 34 degrees, and wind chills just a little bit below that. And unlike it was Saturday morning with the wind chills being below 0. We have a light southerly breeze, and other than that, no rain or snow on the forecast for the next several days. We see this little strip of clouds making their way into our area Monday around noon. Now it's dry at the surface, so we're not going to see any rainfall from that, but we will see some rainfall later on this week. Moving in on Wednesday night into Thursday is where we're going to see the heaviest amount of rain start to make its way into our central counties. It has started to track a little bit more north, and we'll keep an eye on that for you. More details in just a bit.
We'll check in with you soon, Lindsay. As part of Freeman's ongoing coverage of Heart Health Month, 2 Freeman cardiologists, doctors Big Yan Bang and Ryan Longnecker, and a Freeman patient, Dolores Field, gathered in the Heart's library on Friday to share the story of Dolores' unique procedure. Dolores underwent a valve-in-valve transcatheter mitral valve replacement, the first time the procedure has ever been done in Joplin.
He's my lifesaver.
Oh.
He gave me my life back, my quality of life back.
I'm grateful for the partnership I have with Dr. Longnecker so that I can trust my patients in his hands and vice versa so that we can take best care of our community.
Dr. Bang says there is a small number of hospitals in the U.S. who offer this specific procedure, and Freeman Health is now one of them. A local store is inviting kids to get a little more creative. Olson's Ace Hardware in Parsons is hosting a kids hour for the public. Each month has a different theme that helps teach kids a different skill. Today's participants were invited to come and create a Valentine's monster craft. Organizers say it's a great way to help support kids.
They're important. These kids are very important. Their education is important. To see them be excited about something is fun, because not all kids have a great home life. Not all kids have the grandmas that live close.
The next Kids Hour will be hosted in March. Organizers say kids can plan to learn about plants and gardening. One Pittsburgh group is hoping to bring the community together through games. SideQuest is a local group that hopes to promote comics and games in a family-friendly environment. Today they hosted a free game day at the Pittsburgh Public Library. Attendees were invited to come together to play a variety of board or card games while meeting new people.
I've made several new friends through gaming and learned about some great games that I never would have otherwise played if I hadn't started running the game nights.
There were more than a dozen different games available to play. Organizers say they hope to continue holding similar events with even more participation. The Main Street Axe Company in Joplin invited locals to bring a teammate and sharpen their knife throwing skills today at their first ever Knife Duels Throwing League. For $65, those in attendance could enjoy lunch and some prizes. Before the Axe Company's edition of Knife Duels, they only offered axe duels.
It's fun. If anybody's actually played duels with axes, you know, it's a very fun game itself, minus the rest of the other disciplines. So we thought with knives, it's something new.
Today's matches began at noon. Student musicians at Pittsburgh State today performed outside their wind ensemble at the Bicknell Family Center for the Arts. The concert outside is compiled of different pieces rooted outside of the classical tradition and incorporates hip-hop, jazz, and folk music. The performance was free to the public and began at 3 this afternoon. Coming up, we hear from experts about how you can save some money at the pump. Plus, how some colleges are helping students following the recent delays with FAFSA forms. In the U.S. tumbled much more than expected in January. Big spending during the holidays coupled with cold weather across the country could be two factors into less spending. The Commerce Department reports retail sales, which includes spending on all goods and food services, fell 0.8% in January. That's well below the 0.1% decline economists were expecting. You might notice as you fill up your car that gas prices are higher than they were even a week ago. Gloria Pazmino explains why this is and why experts say you should never be paying retail price at the pump.
If you feel like you're paying more to fill up your cart lately, you're not imagining it. Gas prices have begun their annual seasonal increase as winter winds down.
We tend to see it right around Valentine's Day, President's Day. That's really when gas prices tend to start rising more noticeably.
Patrick DeHaan is head of petroleum analysis at Gas Buddy, and he says this is the time of year that Americans start to see that rise at the pump and feel a pinch in their wallets.
Refineries start doing maintenance to prepare for the summer driving season. That maintenance sees shutdowns, less gasoline being produced, and also a switch over to summer gasoline, which will start here in just a week or two across much of the country.
According to AAA, the national average for gas is $3.28 a gallon, up 11 cents in the last week alone. For now, DeHaan says that's well within the normal range of about 35 to 85 cents a gallon from winter to spring peak, which tops out around Memorial Day weekend. But refinery outages due to cold weather and electrical issues in the last several weeks could push prices up even higher. But here's some good news. There are lots of ways to save at the pump.
A lot of stations have loyalty programs out now that will give you a discount just for putting in your information. There can be credit cards with rebates and rewards for using their card at a pump. Even Gas Buddy has a Pay with Gas Buddy card that links to a checking account that can save you up to 25 cents a gallon. So if you combine all of those, really nobody should be paying what that retail price says.
In New York, I'm Gloria Pazmino.
As federal student aid continues to experience delays, some colleges are reportedly taking action. A report says some schools across the country are providing students with their own financial aid forms. The forms do not replace the free application for federal student aid, but they may provide an estimate on aid offers for the 2024 to 2025 school year. The Department of Education says it will not be sending students FAFSA information to schools until March. A little later, Missouri Southern baseball looks to continue its winning streak as they take on Lewis University.
And up next, I'll have a full look at the. With today's high being 52 degrees, we saw a 20-degree increase since the high from yesterday. Taking a look outside at our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort camera in Seneca, Missouri, it's a clear night. It is a bit chilly and a light southerly breeze, but no rain or snow in the forecast for the next several days. We see some clouds start to make their way into our area tomorrow around noon. However, it's dry at the surface, so we're not going to see any rain associated with those clouds. I wanted to take a look and see this 36-hour trend to really see that difference between the temperature 19 degrees 9 a.m. on Saturday all the way to 31 degrees 9 a.m. today. So it was a 10-degree increase, and then with the high 32 degrees by 5 p.m. and 51 degrees. So it was a pretty big difference between yesterday's high and today's high. So we're back on track to actually seeing a normal average temperature for February. With our high tomorrow being 59 degrees, it will be sunny. Those clouds do roll in, but they're not going to stick around long, just around noon, and then we'll be clearing out by the afternoon. For Tuesday, we're going to have clear skies again and still a breeze, but not as fast as the winds were blowing this past weekend. Continuing on, this ridge starts to settle over the central U.S., bringing in the clouds that we see from the west, and that's going to just come before we start to see the rain roll in. Wednesday evening, it may start to pick up around 11:30, and then we're going to see the heaviest amount of rain after midnight, right around 3 a.m. And along with these showers, we're also going to see potentially some thunderstorms. These are due to the instability from the Gulf Coast warm air coming into our area, along with a lot of moisture from the Gulf, paired with this cold front that's moving through. Now we're just getting the tail end of it, but as that meets, it's going to spark possibly some thunderstorms in our area. Now this system's tracking a little bit more north than what we've seen the last few days, so we're going to keep an eye on it. But for right now, it's going through our central and northern counties most of the morning on Thursday and clearing out by the afternoon. Around 1 p.m. we start to see it making its way off of the east. Now it's going to stick around for early afternoon, but we'll see sunny skies again Thursday evening. And then temperatures drop due to that cold front, the lows being in the 30s. However, the highs are still in the 60s. It is not a strong cold front, just a light cold front. And then we're going to continue into next weekend. We see those temperatures warm back up, 69 on Sunday, 73 on Monday, and then more potential showers rolling in Tuesday. So we've got a few days of rain in the forecast, but for the most part, it is going to be a sunny next 10 days.
And that sunshine was a nice change of pace from the past few days.
Oh, I'm excited for it, especially that 73 degrees on Wednesday. That is what I'm most looking forward to.
No complaints over here. All right, thanks, Lindsay. Let's take in less than a week, but it appears a line in the sand has been drawn between Springfield's ban on gaming machines, the only Missouri city to do so, and the company that supplies them to area stores. Joe Hickman reports on the legal battles ahead.
While the standalone gaming venues in Springfield have shut down since the City Council's ban on Monday night, Fast and Friendly and Rapid Roberts convenience stores we visited today still have the machines in operation because the company that owns the devices, Torch Electronics, is ready to challenge the ban.
We certainly understand that Springfield has a problem with gambling devices in the plaza area in particular, but the devices that Torch operates are not the same. The machines that were in the Plaza Shopping Center are straight up slot machines. You put your money in and you take a chance and you get a prize. That's not our devices.
Torch says it had none of its video lottery terminals in gaming venues and has contended all along that its VLTs at local convenience stores don't fall under the new ordinance because players know the outcome of their next bet before they place it. But just as they did with gaming venues, police have gone to convenience stores, giving clerks flyers about the new ban.
Came and handed an envelope with the ordinance, said the games are not supposed to be on. The next time they come in, they will issue a ticket. I think that the police walking into these convenience stores, talking to an hourly clerk who really has nothing to do with the machines, that's very heavy-handed. That's one reason we provided the letter.
That response letter from Torch was given to all the convenience stores to keep behind the counter to give to police, explaining that Torch is the owner of the machines and why they contend convenience stores are not liable.
They're not their machines. They have leased space to Torch. If they want to issue a citation to Torch, we'll be happy to come to court and prove that the machines that we are operating and maintaining do not violate the city ordinance.
The city told us they could not go through a point-by-point argument with Torch.
There are certain details that we can't get into because that would constitute providing legal advice to these organizations, which the city certainly cannot and will not do. But we are confident that our ordinance is enforceable and that it complies with state law.
I'm hoping that they won't try to enforce against any of these convenience stores, and they should put their focus on places that have already shut down.
Problems surrounding these types of machines are not just limited to those game rooms.
And while it may take around 60 days before the police department makes public how many citations it's issued,
I can tell you that there are multiple investigations underway with regard to compliance of this ordinance.
Coming up in sports, post-game reaction following the big win for the Missouri Southern men's basketball team. Plus highlights from the Pitt State and Missouri Southern baseball games. We'll have that and more up next.
The Missouri Southern Lions are wrapping up their final weekend of non-conference games. The baseball team is 8-2 to begin the year, and they look to pick up a few more wins before MIAA conference play begins next week. Southern is home on early Sunday morning. The game was postponed on Saturday, so they make it up with Lewis University on Sunday. In the bottom of the second, it's 1-0 Lewis. Webb City's very own Tragan Parker hits a bloop RBI single to center field, tied up 1-1. Later in the inning, Lions lead 2-1. Ethan Clark, with the bases loaded, didn't get all of it, but just enough for a base hit. Southern now leads 3-1. Still in the second, Will Daugherty hits this sharply to center field. 2 runs are going to come in to score. The Lions now lead 6-1. To the bottom of the fourth now, Southern leads 7-2. Will Daugherty launches this ball to left field, and this ball is going to bounce over the fence for a ground rule double. And we have a dog out there after the baseball. Ethan Clark will come in to score, and Missouri Southern goes on to win this game 13-6. Missouri Southern softball also in action on Sunday. The Lions are wrapping up their Raising Cane's Festival tournament just outside of Oklahoma City. Lions lose game 1 10-6, but Southern bounces back in game 2, winning the game 5-2. So Southern home opener is scheduled for this Tuesday against Delta State. Well, the Pitt State Gorillas are home for one more weekend before they travel to Washburn next weekend to open up conference play. On Sunday, the Gorillas host Southwest Baptist for a doubleheader. Pitt State home taking on the Southwest Baptist Bearcats. Gorillas won game 1 of the series. So we head over to game 2 on Sunday. Bottom of the first, Austin Warkins drills this ball over the center fielder's head. 1 run will come in to score. Warkins is in there for an RBI triple. It's 1-0 Pitt State. Bottom of the fourth now. Gorillas down 3-2. Jake Grauberger ties this game up with an RBI single. It's now 3-3. Next batter to the plate, Austin Warkins again hits this past the second baseman. 2 runs come in to score. It's an RBI double. Pitt State takes a 5-3 lead. Bottom of the fifth now. Bases are loaded for Carson Coffey. He wakes everyone up with an opposite field grand slam. Pitt State wins big in game 1, 25-3, your final score. So in game 2 of the doubleheader, Pitt State rolls on once again. The Gorillas win this game 15-0. And get this, Carson Coffey in both of his games today, he goes 7 for 8, hits 3 homers and 12 RBIs. What a day for the junior outfielder from Bentonville, Arkansas. Well, the Missouri Southern Lions men's basketball team is coming off of a big win over Pitt State this past Saturday. Lions are starting to really get things turned around with just 2 weeks to go in the regular season. Missouri Southern really struggled out of the gate to begin this season. Lions went 2-7 in their first 9 games, but since then, Missouri Southern has gone 10-5 in their last 15. Lions are coming off of a 3-point win over their rivals Pitt State, and just the second straight season that Missouri Southern has beat Pitt State in the regular season. Gritty win, toughness win, and for our guys to stay the course. You know, we were up 7.5, and that game storming back to take the lead, for us not to get down and really not get too high, not get too low, and stay the course, and really get good buckets down the stretch, big buckets down the stretch, and keep timely stops. I'm just proud of our guys.
Hey, look, we coming in hot. You know what I'm saying? Look, we're gonna stay together, stay focused, stay in the gym, get extra shots up. You know, make sure that we don't have a bad shooting night when we need to win. So we're gonna lock in, stay focused, and like I said, we coming in hot, so we're gonna be good.
That's your look for sports. We're back after this.
Pop culture's power couple is giving a garment to a good cause. A Kansas City Chiefs jersey autographed by Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift will be auctioned off for charity. The jersey also comes with a picture of the future NFL Hall of Famers and the singer-songwriter. Right now, the current price tag is more than $3,000. The Gulf Wish Fund for the Children is offering that signed shirt. Well, I bet you there's a lot of people out there who want that.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Final look at the forecast.
So we've got some sunny days ahead. Thankfully, Monday and Tuesday completely sunny. Wednesday, some clouds do roll in, but temperatures up to 73. And then we have some showers with maybe some thunderstorms along with that. Then the rest of the weekend is going to be sunny again.
Sounds perfect to me. Even with those, the rain in there, I'm not too mad about it.
It's going to be mostly in the overnight hours, so hopefully it won't affect everybody's day too much.
Yeah. Perfect. Final sports note.
Well, seems like it's going to be good weather on Tuesday for the Missouri Southern Softball Lions home opener, and they're in that Canes Festival. What do you get if you win that Canes Festival tournament?
I don't know, but I wish that I could play in it because that sounds like my dream. Well, that's our time for now, and from all of us here in the studio, have a great evening.